Today is September 20th. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on ClavesOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey, and we are brought to you each and every day by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Royal Banks of Missouri. Rammer, the Cardinals are out west, and I know that a lot of people don't like staying up this late, especially, school's back in session. It's, September for the West Coast trip, but this could be a pretty big preview of what's to come for the Cardinals here in about 3 weeks for the start of the postseason. Padres Cardinals could be the wild card series here in St. Louis.
As far as staying up late, you can't make the sun not go down. The time
Rammer, not all of us
is what it is.
Rammer, not all of us have kids that are either in college or completely moved out of the house like you. But some of us have fourth graders. Yeah.
So let's move LA and San Francisco and Seattle and San Diego to Amarillo, Wichita, Omaha, and Des Moines.
You know what? Hey, if you build it, they will come. So that's fine with me. I'll tell you what. Hey, I was on the East Coast. I was on Eastern time this weekend. That sucked too because everything. You want to go to bed early, and everything still hasn't even started yet in the rest of the country.
These are really first world problems that you're discussing.
Mountain time, best time. Mountain time, best time.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. You get your NFL games that start at 11 a.m. That's fine. You have most of the baseball games, they start right when you get off work. Perfect time, that Mountain Standard Time. I wish we had that, but we don't. It's an 8:40 start time tonight. Okay, they do get the game started a little early. 8:40 start time. In San Diego, it is Cardinals and Padres. It is Adam Wainwright against Mike Clevenger. And you know what? Because in honor of Mike Clevenger, I'm putting the hair down for the rest of the show for him tonight on the mound.
I don't know if you throw as well as him, but you're you do the hair much better.
His is longer. I think his is a lot longer, and I don't get how he pitches with it down as far as he does. I really, if I was playing, I'd go low bun like Kopech, like Michael Kopech of the White Sox. I do not get how Clevenger is able to do that. The key, though,
as you can tell, these are problems that don't concern me anymore.
The key is to keep it wet all game. That's the key, is to keep it wet, to constantly pour the water on the head or to be sweating so much that it's just soaking wet the whole game. You don't want the flowing locks going when you're trying to throw, especially in San Diego.
That's disgusting.
We do have lineups for the game tonight, but before we get to those, there was some movement, some transactions that the Cardinals made of note. Really, this yesterday was when the story came out. The Cardinals have optioned Nolan Gorman back down to AAA, and they have activated Juan Yepez, calling him up from AAA. We haven't seen Juan Yepez since July in a Cardinal uniform. So I guess with the emergence of some of the left-handed bats that the Cardinals have recently called up, they said, you know what, we need another righty, and Juan Yepez is not going to take away at bats from Albert Pujols. He'll get his opportunities, but we want a little right-handed pop.
I think it was more specific to the two individuals anyway. Gorman wasn't going to get any playing time because he stopped hitting. Everybody feels bad for the kid. He'll come right back in the spring and fight for a job. We're at a time of the year you've got to produce. Yepez earned his way back. He went to Memphis and played very well. So I think it's just one of those things. You try and keep your roster shuffling. You kind of know who's going to play now. Now it's a matter of trying to give guys bats to get them hot again.
I don't. So I'm not arguing with you that Nolan Gorman has stopped hitting. I think that's pretty evident. But Paul DeJong has not hit at all. Paul DeJong has not hit since that Yankees series when he got called back. You're saying that listen, just hear me out. I have a point I'm trying to make here. Yes, $9 million. I know. Yes, $9 million. I get it. My point, though, is that come October, when that playoff roster is made, who do you value more, Nolan Gorman or Paul DeJong right now? Who gets that spot if it comes down to those two? Because Edman can play short, Donovan can play short. Do you really need Paul DeJong in there playing shortstop?
Well, do you really need Nolan Gorman not playing at all?
I think his left-handed bat's better than Paul DeJong's right-handed bat.
Not by a lot. The numbers would say not by much. First of all, yes. If you're just going yes or no, but both are so far down the one of these bats can help us list that I don't think it's relevant. And who's to say it wouldn't change by that first series? But the other thing is Gorman's not good defensively, whereas DeJong at least can help you switch things around if you need to. You pinch hit for somebody in a game, you at least know your defense is as good, if not better, when you put him in late.
So we will. That's a problem that's a few weeks away. That the Cardinals will have to address, and they still have O'Neill that you would hope gets healthy, and we'll see who ends up on that roster. But for now, here is what the Cardinals and Padres lineups will look like for tonight. For the Cardinals, they lead off with Brendan Donovan. He is at second. Tommy Edman at short. Paul Goldschmidt at first. Nolan Arenado at third. Corey Dickerson is in left. Albert Pujols DHing tonight. He is batting sixth. Alec Burleson is in right field. Yadier Molina is behind the plate. And Lars Nootbaar is in center field with Adam Wainwright on the mound. Another record-setting game for Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina as they pass Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina for most starts as a battery of all time. Tonight will be 326 all time for them. For the Padres, they look like this. Jurickson Profar leading off and playing left. Juan Soto is in right. Manny Machado at third. Brandon Drury at first. Jake Cronenworth is at second. Josh Bell DHing. Ha-Sung Kim is at short. Austin Nola is behind the plate. And Jose Azocar is in center field with Mike Clevenger on the mound for the Padres. You made a noise when I mentioned Lars Nootbaar batting ninth. What's up?
No, I was when you had Carlson, and so just interesting the way he's looking at the lineup and going heavy lefty righty. And Carlson, we know, is not as good from the left side, and in theory, giving up a little bit of outfield defense for, in theory, offense, because Lars hadn't been hitting either. So I just thought it was I wouldn't have guessed that. If we were playing the lineup game, I would have missed on that one.
Is Corey Dickerson your other DH right now?
Right now, he's your other left fielder. He's your left fielder right now.
I mean, because Albert's getting a start tonight against a righty, and they're out on, they have lefties coming up. Blake Snell's starting tomorrow. Clayton Kershaw's starting on Friday. I believe Urias is also starting this weekend. So the Dodgers are going to throw at least two lefties against the Cardinals. So I mean, you have three lefties coming up this week. What's the point?
That's probably why you'll see Yepez and Carlson for sure on those days.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying about what you're doing with Albert. That's kind of what I'm looking at with Albert about starting him against a righty.
Well, against a given on a given at bat on a given night, look at the roster. Mm-hmm. Nobody's hitting. You'd rather send Pujols up, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Nobody's hitting. Now, if he was taking the spot of guys that were just hammering the ball all over the yard, you'd go, whoa, wait a minute. We're kind of playing headline game here, aren't we? Yeah. We're kind of playing for the records. But he's been, and everybody's cooled off. But in that cooled off period, he's as hot as anybody.
Yeah. Do want to look ahead to the Albert gift tracker this weekend. The Cardinals and Albert Pujols have played many games against the Padres in their career, in his career, correct? They've played a lot there. Back in 2013. So, Rambert, you do your research on lineups and stats and all that stuff. I do my research on this. back in 2013 during Mariano Rivera's farewell tour, the Yankees were in San Diego for an interleague play. The Padres gave Mariano Rivera a Yankees bicycle, a beach cruiser, for his gift. So that's what the Padres have to live up to here for Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina this weekend. This week. Yeah.
So do they do the same thing but make it a Cardinal version, or do they do something more outdoorsy that they can make, with a number 5 on it? What do you think that bike costs? About $1,000, probably.
Oh, I don't. I mean, I'm going to say over $1,500 for this bike. I'm saying they went top of the line.
Let's call it $2,000.
Okay.
So I think we got to make a comparison there. Say, okay, are you going to take a number off the scoreboard and put her name on it? Oh, brother. The first time that was okay, but then everybody else doing it left me a little empty.
Yeah.
But yeah, something that kind of is that outdoorsy San Diego beach kind of thing with an Albert twist, Cardinal twist to it. That's okay with me, but let's make sure it balances out.
Absolutely. So, and you got to get 2 bikes. 2, I guess. I mean, you got to give one to because you need one for Albert and one for Yachty. Do you get? I mean, they're best friends. Do you get them a tandem bike?
You've blown my mind.
Yeah.
And actually, Joe, I think a tandem bike would be hilarious. And it would make you the happiest guy on planet Earth. So I hope that is the case.
For those watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, there's a picture right there. That's the beach cruiser that the Padres gave Mariano Rivera, gifted by Trevor Hoffman. By the way, it was Trevor Hoffman out on the mound to gift it to him for that as well. So
back to baseball real quick.
Yeah, the important stuff.
There are 4 or 5 games tonight that there are only 4 or 5 that matter. Cardinals is one of them. Not so much for the Cardinals record, but for the Padres. In the National League, you still have 3 teams fighting for 2 spots: the Padres, Phillies, and Brewers. And it is absolutely up for grabs. While the Brewers are in 3rd place right now, it's so tight, it doesn't really matter. The Padres are desperate, but they've been desperate for weeks. When did Soto, who was supposed to be Ted Williams, turn into Ted Knight?
What if you get to pick between the Padres and Phillies, who would you rather the Cardinals face in the first round?
I don't like the Phillies lineup, and while right now they're far more productive than the Padres, I still respect Soto and Bell, and I'm fearful that if they walked in that they could turn it on like that and just start pounding it. However, based on the numbers and where you are now, you'd have to say, before you start playing them tonight, you'd have to say they're the ones who have underachieved and you want to face them. But as the old skipper La Russa would say, it's a decision I don't have to make right now.
Just looking ahead at one of the series, I know it's not a series to watch. I know it's not a game that matters, but it's a team that matters, as Aaron Judge is looking to break Roger Maris's Yankee and American League single-season home run record. He sits at 59. The Yankees are hosting the Pirates this week. Did you see who is in the lineup tonight for the New York Yankees?
Bader's starting in center field. I did not see where he was in the batting order.
He is batting 7th, and he is struck out in his first at-bat with the Yankees.
There you go.
Yep. So that'll do it for our show tonight.
One more quick thing, Joe.
Yeah.
Looking at these games, and if people say, bored, what are the Cardinals playing for? Who cares? Offense isn't going. Look at these other races. Huge game tonight, huge series. Toronto and Philadelphia. Separate leagues, right? But they're both hanging on by their fingernails. That's going to be a great series.
Blue Jays currently up 6-1 in that game right now in the top of the 5th inning. Yeah. Hey, he is Bob Ramsey, and I'm Joe Roderick. We are brought to you each and every day by Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Rammer, your friends over at Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri. I was just driving through Northeast Missouri, and 3 new branches in that part of the country, including where I was in Hannibal. And at each and every branch, you get the hometown bank feel. And it's the same way there. East Side, St. Louis, St. Charles County, 314-212-1500, Royal Banks of Missouri.
We will talk to you tomorrow. Late night games tonight, tomorrow, and on Friday. Friday is an Apple TV game, so make sure you have that downloaded on your TV so you are not caught. I'm giving you 3 days heads up on that right now. Hey, we will talk to you tomorrow again right here on Daily Cards Live on ClaibsOnline.com.
St. Louis Acura has an unbeatable selection of new cars arriving daily, like the all-new 2023 Acura Integra. We also have a great selection of over 200 pre-owned and factory precision courtesy vehicles with finance rates as low as 1.9% for 36 months with approved credit. And we've added Saturday service hours to our newly renovated service facility. Don't forget, we'll buy your vehicle here at our dealership or from the convenience of your home. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.